Hey everybody, and happy Veterans Day, and today we're going to take a look at another Bat book that not too many people talk about. In this case in particular, I don't think anybody talks about this book. And it is Arkham Asylum Madness, which is written and drawn by Sam Kieth, as well as colors by Michelle Madsen and Dave Stewart. And as of late, I am on a little bit of a Sam Kieth kick. I recently reviewed two of his books, Ghost, and I also did Through the Looking Glass. And also, I'm actually reading right now Batman and the Max, which is a crossover with DC and IDW. And Ghost, if you look back at my video, I gave that somewhat of a positive review. Not so much with Through the Looking Glass. Not really a good story at all. And right now, the jury's still out as in terms of how well Batman the Max is gonna kind of turn out. So Arkham Asylum Madness, where does this one kind of fit in it? And we'll kind of hold off on that to the end. And what this one is, it's a 96-page standalone. Could call it prestige. I've seen it in a hardcover format as well. But this is a standalone story. This is one I did not read. This came out in 2010. To be honest, I came across this at a bookstore not too long ago on the cheap. I was like, yeah, what the heck, why not? And what it is, it centers around, the premise is, it's 24 hours in Arkham. And it really centers around, if you would kind of say the main character of this book is this nurse named Sabine. But also, it's 24 hours in Arkham, and it deals with, obviously Sabine is like the central part of the story, if you can kind of call it that. But it deals with everybody in Arkham. It deals with the cops or the security guards. It deals with some of the doctors, and obviously has the inmates, which includes, in here, you get Joker is the quote-unquote primary villain in this story. We also get cameo appearances by Harley Quinn. She's in there for what would be a segment. And also Poison Ivy is in there for a segment. Man-Bat is in there for like a panel or two. Killer Croc is off on the periphery. That's just short for periphery. Yeah, periphery is short for... you get what I'm saying. He's there. They kind of reference him a couple times. They actually go up to him. And it's interesting what they did with Killer Croc. Let's see if I can actually get to a page that actually has him. What it basically is, he's kind of kept in this tank. And he's got this apparatus on his mouth that's going to prevent him from... basically chewing up anybody. There's Harley Quinn. And he's, the way they kind of describe him, it's obviously, he's a terrible villain. He has the capability to kind of really, he's right there. He's kind of like, referenced like a monster throughout this. And it's really well done. Also in here, on a very brief cameo, you do see Two-Face in this. And I think that's it for mainly the villains, but the main one is the Joker. And what I like about what this story does, it treats Arkham Asylum almost like it would be a character as well. Much like you've seen in Grant Morrison's, obviously, Arkham Asylum. Maybe not as much as what this would be. Those really dealt with the villains and kind of dealt with the back history of Arkham Asylum, obviously with Amadeus Arkham, but more with Scott Snyder, like he did with Gotham City in his New 52 run on Batman, is that he really treated Gotham like a character. Well, Sam Kieth really does treat Arkham Asylum like a character in this as well, and it shows how the asylum really impacts the lives of everyone involved. It's just really well done. Sabine the nurse, as you see, she kind of comes in as you open the story. She's being dropped off at work by her son and her husband, and she kind of portrays this kind of positive spin on the institution with her child, but as soon as the child leaves, you can just tell right off the back what type of story you're getting, where she kind of strips the bright clothing off, and she puts on the nurse's garb, and then the garb, and it just really goes into this weird story of how it just, like, how slow the day moves, and then how it just really impacts, especially on the staff. And this running story that goes along, as we kind of see, they were saying, like, the time moves slow, is that there's this clock. It's sort of like in this area where all the staff go to, and it starts going really, really slow. And then everyone's kind of looking like, why is the time moves slow here? And it's even, obviously, the clock is too. But you see that it actually goes into that after a while, not only does the clock start to move slow, it starts to make these weird noises like thump, thump, thump. And then over time, the clock actually starts bleeding. So it really goes into this theme of, as you see the blood starting to come from the clock, it's just how twisted this place is, and it's even affecting, time, and is this place really haunted? And what actually happens with the clock, it's just really, really weird. You kind of read it, kind of anticlimactic, but if you think about it, it's just how, as if you're on the staff, again, just how this place kind of really twists people's minds and perceptions, and is this place haunted, and it's a miserable place to work at, and time moves so slow. As you're seeing this thing, what's going on with the clock, it's got to morph with your mind a little bit. It really does. I really enjoyed that. Killer Croc, again, you're kind of seeing here on this particular page. I like what they did with Killer Croc. Again, it's like the monster that's kind of kept in the closet, and it's interesting how they kind of kept him. Now, I mean, just by body stature, not really body stature, but just in size, he's a huge creature in this book. And I don't know if I'd like the Killer Croc to be that big in size. I mean, if you just look at the proportions of the body, that's probably only half of his body size right there, and you're only really seeing the head and a little bit of the torso they're feeding him. But I just like how they really did Killer Croc, and then, again, what happens at the end with Killer Croc, it's just a disaster just waiting to happen, as it's kind of referenced how there's issues with the plumbing and the weight of the contraption they got Killer Croc kind of kept in. It's just, again, it's just nothing good can come of this place. The Poison Ivy and the Harley Quinn thing, their part in this was so. I love the Joker in this. I really do. Joker, obviously, in the Bat thing, whatever, but really the Joker, it's a running story that it starts off when you go into the book, and there's this kind of like I don't want to say like a smoker's break section, and they go outside, and they have like this bird bath bowl, and there's actually a story that goes on with why this bowl is placed where it is, because it actually used to be in the park ground where all the inmates would go outside, but you find out there's actually a backstory with what happened within it, and it deals with this thing the Joker did with with the guards, and it's just, I love how Sam Kieth kind of drew that part of the story out, because you're reading in the beginning like, what's this going on? They reference something happened, and then this thing that the Joker, you find out that he's kind of has like this collection hobby, that he likes to collect the antiques and stuff like that. One of those things he has is blood soap, and how that kind of ties in with what happened with the bath and the bath bowl and the guard. It was really well done, and you can kind of see how he snapped. And maybe did the guard kind of have it coming to him a little bit? Maybe, especially with we'll just put Milton Napier, obviously Batman the White Knight, Napier in the 1989 Batman movie. You kind of maybe get a gist of what maybe the guard was kind of referencing just by looking at this, but it is told straight up in the story what the guards were kind of doing with the Joker, and they were definitely poking a bear. We'll just kind of leave it at that. And one of the guards gets it, and I like how the flashback, how Dave Stewart and the other colors did it when they were kind of referencing what happened to that guard in the Birdbath Bowl. It was just really well done. Again, it all kind of melts in the end. You see some development with the doctors, and it's just a really well done story. The art, it does in time kind of look kind of goofy with some of the faces. I'm not really a fan of the Harley Quinn design, but I will say when it goes dark, it's really well done. Like, it goes into the dark faces with the Joker, and then you see with the clock on the wall. It's just awesome. It's just a really well done story. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And again, it's just, I love this concept. You've seen it in Gotham Central where they had kind of like the GCPD kind of being its own character, and the drama and the personal interaction that could happen with that and within that type of setting. You get the same thing here in Arkham Asylum. Madness. Overall, this was fun. This is a very fun read. Art was, it matched for the most part. It doesn't really have a good ending in this. Kind of leaves on somewhat of an open cliffhanger, to be honest. But this is one of those stories where there's really no winner in this. I guess the closest winner would be the Joker, I guess. But it's fun if you kind of like this setting. Put yourself in the Arkham Asylum universe and how it really can impact. I mean, even just think about it. Man, what would happen if you worked in Arkham Asylum? That'd be crazy. Just the impact on your mind, mentally and physically, how it can impact your family, your love life. It's all kind of touched upon in this story. If I had to rank this one, I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5. Obviously, if there's more Bat books you need to get for your collection, yeah, I absolutely get it. But if you come across this one, get it. And I've seen a couple of these in since I got this in Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. You kind of get it like on a discount price. Cover price in this, I think, was like $15. Yeah, $14.99. I'm sure you can get this like cheap, 50% off. So if you come across it and you got some time, I recommend you reading this. This was fun. It's a fun read, not to be taken 100% seriously. But again, if you just want to put yourself into the Arkham Asylum environment and kind of go into that type of reading experience, this was good. So for Sam Kieth, this one right now, even though it looks like Batman the Max kind of swaying it, 2 out of 3 as far as a positive response from me on his writing and art in the Batman universe. And this one, again, it's a recommend. So anyway, again, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Thank you for your service, and for those who made the ultimate sacrifice. We can't thank you enough for you and your family as well, and what you have done for our nation. So anyway, until next video, take care.